Let's do the session 2 with the Visual Studio Code and using the MongoDB at last site. So here you can see it's running perfectly and our port is 8080. So first of all, let's go to the browser and see this one, localhost colon 8080. Here, once you type that one, you may get this error message. You have to get this error message because still we didn't give any endpoint. That's why we are getting this error message. But the project is running perfectly, but we didn't specify any endpoint. Okay. All right. So the next thing, let's give an endpoint and see what will happen. So here I'm giving a sample one. So first of all, open up your application class. So within that, first of all, I'm going to give an annotation called app REST controller. So once you give the annotation, the package also will import automatically like this, right? So you, when we are giving this REST controller, the framework will know that this class actually not just a class, it's for a API control. So that is the thing. So once we are giving the REST controller, we will the framework will understand this is not just a class. This is for the API control. That's why we are giving REST control. Then within the class, inside the class, you have to give this one. I'm going to create a method called public string API root like this. So for the method name, you can give any. So here I'm giving API root. So the next thing is I'm going to return hello world. So this one actually using this method, we are going to return hello world. Then we are going to add an annotation called get mapping. And within brackets and within quotation, here I'm giving slash. So this means actually here we are defining an endpoint. So once you call this slash within the web project, once we run it, you will return, you will get this hello world message. That means this method will call and return this hello world. Okay, so save the file. Let's run it again. Yeah, it's already run. Here I'm going to run it again. All right. So here my port is 8080. Let's see. After the port, just give the slash and see. Here we are getting hello world word. So that means in here, once you give the slash, you will return the hello world word. So if you give like this, let's say root, so save it, and I'm going to run it again. So you give like this, let's see what will happen. Just give the slash and see. Here we are getting the error message. Because now we don't have an endpoint only with the slash. Now we have slash root endpoint. Now we are getting the hello world message. Right? That's the thing. So this is a basic endpoint. Right? So you can just comment these things because this is just a sample. So you can comment these imports as well. Right? Okay, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to do the database configuration. Okay, let's see how we can do the database configuration. Yeah, first of all, open up. So let's stop the application. And here within the resources, we have the application.properties. So within that, we are going to give the configuration, database configuration. So earlier, if you're getting that error message call that port in use when you're running the project, you have to change your port. So to change the port, you have to give a line called server.port and the current port and the new port number in this file application.properties. But since I am not getting that error, I don't have that line. So you may have that one, right? Okay, so here instead of the other things, here are the things we need to do. Spring dot data dot MongoDB dot database equal. So we can provide our database name. And the next one, again, spring dot data dot MongoDB dot URL like this. Okay. So here we need to provide our database name and the URI. Okay. Yeah. First of all, before adding those two, we have to create the database. So open up your MongoDB Atlas, and here now we are going to add sample data. I already have my movies.json file, so I already shared with you as well. That one you have to add in here. All right. So for that one, go to the database. And here you have the option called Browse Collections. Now within that, we are going to add our data. So here you have the option called Add My Own Data. So go to that and just give the database name. So here I'm giving movie APIDB and the collection name movies. So here the collection in the sense, actually in the MySQL, we have database and within that we have tables. Likewise, in the NoSQL, we have database and within that we have collections. So that's why we are giving collection called movies. So create it. Now you can see here we have a database called movie dash API dash DB and within that we have a collection called movies, right? Now we need to add our sample data into this collection. So first of all, I'm going to open up this .json file. With a notepad or any text editor. So here it is. So copy the code, put off in the JSON file. You have to copy this one. And you have to paste in here. Go to the insert document, go to this curly braces. Instead of this line, just give that and insert. Now you will see we have 10 records, 10 documents here. In the tables, we have records. In the collections, we have documents, right? In every document, we have ID, title, release date, those kind of things. All right. Here it is. Now we have created database and the collection. Let's give the database name here. So here I'm giving movie-api-db. Then for the URI, so go to this MongoDB connection and here copy the connection string and paste in here. Here it is. You have to remove this slash. Save all. Right. Now open up the pom.xml file and uncomment this dependency and save it that one again. And you have to reload the project and let's run it and see. If you are not getting any error, that means it's perfectly run. All right, we are not getting any errors. So it's successfully connected, right? Then another thing. So when we are adding these things, that means adding this project into the GitHub, when we are using GitHub, if we provide this data, actually that means this database name, username, password, cluster name. If you're adding these things directly, our project is not secure. So for the safety, when we are using the GitHub, we can put this into a different file and we can ignore that file when we are uploading things into the GitHub. So for that one, we are going to create .env file and we are going to put our sensitive data into that. And we can ignore that one as well, right? So for that one, you have to go to the resources, right click on it, new file, .env. So within that, you have to type these things. Mongo database, Mongo user, Mongo password, Mongo cluster. We are going to fill these things with our data. So this is the database name. So I'm going to copy this one and within quotation, I'm going to paste it. And the username within quotation, password again within quotation, then the cluster name again within quotation, right? So here it is. This is our .env file. And we have to ignore this env file once we are uploading things into the GitHub. So here, after this, we can give like this, env files .env. So once we are uploading things to the GitHub, this env file will ignore, right? So save that one as well. And another thing, in the Spring, it will not support .env file reading part. So to read the .env file, we need to add a new dependency. So for that one, go to the browser and type Maven dependencies. Go to the Maven repository, search on spring.env. Search it and let's see. Here it is, this one, and we are using version 2.5.4. So open up that, and we need to add this dependency. So our group ID is this, and this is the name of the dependency. That means the artifact. So to give the dependency, you can go ahead with this code, or else you can type this code as well. So I'm going to copy this one, this dependency, and within the form.xml, after this last dependency, I'm going to paste it. Right? So here it is. Now we have to reload the project. Okay. And another thing, within the application.properties, you have to remove this one and you have to use these names instead of our data. So for that one, what you need to do is for the database name, this is what we gave, MongoDB. I'm going to copy that one instead of the name, dollar within curly braces, env dot Mongo database. So likewise, from here, we're giving env dot Mongo user. And here, dollar curly braces, env dot password. Then for the cluster, env dot Mongo cluster. It should be Mongo. Like this. All right. So this is how you can give it. So save all the files. It's already saved. And the next thing is we need to reload the form.xml file. Now it's okay. I'm going to remove all this. And let's run it and see. Like in the previous, if you're not getting any errors, that means our .env file read successfully in this project. All right. Yeah. That's all for this session.